Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, people, make sure that you lot are smashing up the lights. Make sure that you are subscribing. Make sure that you're subscribing to the Mandem as well, man. Henry Talks Football. You've got George here as well. And Jem, we need to get Jem back on YouTube, man. You know, he's very active on TikTok, people, but it's not really football related on there, is it, Jem? I'm always seeing this guy in battles, TikTok battles and that, bro.
To be fair, Jem comes up on mine. I'll just be scrolling and I see Jem come up. He's just having general chat. Well, it's good, man.
I get bored of talking about our football club. That's what it is.
See that kind of TikTok, bro? I honestly don't understand it. When I'm there, I'm like, what is this? What are these gifts? What are these fucking things you lot are putting up on the screen, bro? You know what I'm saying?
A lot of money from that as well. Like some people can earn like serious money from that.
Serious though, yeah. There is a lot of money in it. There is.
They do, bro. You know what I mean? But listen, we've got people coming into the chat. Like I said, make sure that you lot are liking up the video. You've got CAA Mafia here already. Pest control against our son Spurs. Peter says 3-1. Come on, Chels. Bro, I hope it's going to be 3-1. Because I can't lie, man, them. Listen, going into this game, I was actually on the phone to Roms earlier. Big up Roms. And he was saying, bro, you man are going to smash Tottenham. You're going to smoke Tottenham. And I'm like, bro, listen, we've got everyone fit right now. You know, so it's giving me a little bit more confidence because we all saw how Chelsea were playing start of the season when Maresca had everyone available, right? Everyone is back now, right? But we still have problems that have been happening in the past few game weeks, right? You've got Jackson just came back from injury. He's been missing a lot of chances before he got injured. You've got Cole Palmer's not been on the greatest form, right? Enzo and Caicedo have been carrying that midfield, okay? I know Fofana's back, so he should help us defensively as well. But I'm not confident in this team right now. And I can't help it. You know, I feel like because I go to a lot of games, I don't know, when you go to games, you can kind of feel how the players are sometimes. Like you can just see body language, you can see them moaning at each other. Do you know what I mean? So I can actually see it right there in front of me. So right now, I can't even lie to you, bro. I think we'll beat Spurs, Jem. But going into the game, I don't know how it's gonna go, bro. How do you think it's gonna go from your point of view, bro?
Well, we're not on the most greatest of forms. I know we beat Southampton and Leicester, but listen, we should be beating them teams anyway, especially with where they are positioned in the league. But when I look at us going into this game, obviously coming back from a break like everyone else has as well, it's one of them where it's like, how is he going to line us up? Because, yeah, we've got Jackson back, but is he fit enough to be on the pitch, which means we might have Pedro Neto up front, you know? Is Cole Palmer even fit? Yeah, we see that he's training again, but is he even going to be available for this game? Is he going to be able to start? You know, we might still have to start this game with a false nine again in Neto, which I'm not saying is a bad thing because we've seen good performances from it, but I've also seen performances where it's been very predictable and the attack's still just been a little bit dead, as we've seen. And on top of that, it's the winger situation, isn't it? No Madueke still, no Mudryk. Like,
no, Madueke's back training, bro.
Yeah, but again, all right, fine. I didn't even know he was back, to be fair. I've not even seen him, didn't know he was in training. But again, is he going to start? Is he not? For me, it's just a lot of question marks about, are we going to start our strongest team? Probably not. Are we going to say force players in? But it's at that point now where I feel like we need to start getting players back into their positions. And if players are available, then we need to be playing our strongest team. How many minutes we can get out of them, maybe 45, 50 minutes and then switch them. But we need to be beating Spurs. Our history against these lot is still ridiculous. To be quite honest with you, I'm waiting for the day where these two are going to be messaging us or saying, listen, it's come finally. Yes, we've beaten Chelsea at the bridge, you know, but it's... I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting game, I reckon. So we'll see.
No, 100%, man. And how are you feeling going into the game, H, man? Because you're obviously someone that's been angry at Ange. He's not changing any methods, really. You're still down there, really. You know, you're not really moving from where you are, in all honesty. It's mad weird, bro. When you look at Spurs' goal difference, yeah, around the teams that they're around right now, it's mad. I think you lot have scored more goals than both us and Arsenal, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? But it's the goals that you lot concede. That's the problem, bro. It's your defense. This manager does not know how to coach a defense, bro. Are you worried that Chelsea have got all their players back?
Yeah, with us, it's not scoring goals. That's not the problem. It's keeping them out. It's being stable at the back and knowing how to proactively defend counter-attacks, because we are probably one of the most easiest teams in the league to counter against because we commit so many bodies forward. In terms of like this game, I'll be honest, I think every Spurs fan is just looking at that Frankfurt game. Like, if we lose to Chelsea, it's not going to make a difference to our season. It will be like another kind of nail in the coffin for Ange for me, because it will be, I think we're 3 defeats away from our most ever in the top flight division, which is which is
3
concerning.
defeats away.
It'd also be, I think, the first time the Tottenham managers come in and lost their first 4 games against Chelsea.
Damn.
Yeah, which is not great, is it? Let's be brutally honest. I mean, and the fact that you've got Jackson back, I don't know if he's going to be like fit and fire and ready to go. But this is the game where people look at Palmer and go, right, go and perform, because his record in the Big Six is not great, but against us, he got a couple of goals. Was it Lot? He obviously did the Panenka penalty at the reverse fixture. A couple of goals the season before. Like, I'm looking at us right now, and I just think the Southampton game at the weekend, we've got to do massive rotation because the Frankfurt game is only 4 days later. But there's no excuse not to go out there and put our strongest 11 against you lot, knowing the fact we won't have a next big test for 7 days. But there's like George said backstage, is if Van der Ven's out, and obviously Danso's still out with his hamstring injury.
That's what's injured as well.
Yeah, hamstring injury. So I imagine it might be Romero and if Van der Ven's out, maybe Romero and Davis. I don't think he'll play great for this game, especially at centre back. But the fact you've got everyone fit, that does give me a bit of a concern, because you are, when you are on it, you are definitely a big threat. But recently, Leicester, Southampton, the 2 games in the Conference League, you're not really firing on all cylinders. You're doing well into the final third, and then you're just misplacing passes, poor decision making. When players should shoot, they should pass. When players should pass, they're shooting. I'm not a massive fan of Neto in the 9. I think he's a good player out wide, but I'm not a big fan of him in the 9. And I do think you're going to cause us huge problems, because just the way we play as a team, we're always going to give 2 or 3 chances a game. It doesn't matter who we play against.
Now hear it, bro. Listen, big up CAA Mafia. He says not confident against Spurs. Man, I'll be confident even with Gilchrist and Mweka. Bro, I'm not confident against anyone right now. I'll be so real, because I've lost trust in these guys. It's up to them now to start to build that confidence back into the fan base as well. Because, bro, I've not been watching good performances, right? You only get your confidence from good performances. So I'm not going to sit here bare arrogant and say, yeah, we're going to beat Spurs. We're going to beat Spurs when we've had a hard reset. We haven't seen our strongest team in weeks now. So I don't even know what Chelsea are going to turn up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Chelsea are going to turn up, bro. These guys are young delinquents, Jules. You know what I mean? They're honestly young delinquents, bro. It's hard for me to really predict what Chelsea I'm going to see, because it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying?
This might be the first time I've heard Don say he's not confident for a game. Like, it generally might be the first ever game I've heard Don say like he's not predicting. Well, I don't know what his actual prediction for the game is, but to say that like he doesn't know what to expect, because usually, you're giving us the breakdown of, because Fofana's back, this is going to happen. Lavia. In fact, that's what I expected. Lavia, because you always talk about Lavia this. Our midfield hasn't been complete. You haven't even seen our best midfield all season. Lavia's not played in the pivot next to Caicedo. Watch when that comes back. You've been raving on about that all year. But since you signed him, let alone how Lavia's going to like revitalize your midfield. And don't wrong, he's a good player. And I think with the players coming back, you're going to have a boost. But naturally, similar to us, you're in a bad rut. We're in a bad rut. I don't know what to expect from either of our teams. I think for some people, this long break would have been nice, but also for some, it's not good, because they've been away from the club for two weeks. Come back, and especially for us, a lot of the players are going to be back here. They're back in a bad mood. They're like, we're 14th. We got to look ahead to Chelsea. Got to try and get a win in this game, knowing this is a team that we've lost against previously, and we got slapped up in the last game. And then the games last season didn't go our way either. So
just on that last game as well, George, this is how you know, at that time we were playing well. Because when we was at that game, me and Alex, I was sitting next to Alex, like, your fucking gaff, right, was 2-0 down. And I told him, I said, bro, we're winning this game. That's what I told him, bro. Because at that time, I was seeing us finishing chances. I was seeing us playing some good football. I was seeing Maresca doing some good things. Right now, I'm not going to delude myself. People try to call me delusional, but I'm not going to delude myself into thinking, we've got everyone back now. That's it. We're going to smoke Spurs. I'm not seeing it like that, bro. It's up to these man to give me that confidence again. But go on, carry on, bro. Carry on.
Nah, facts. No, that's the way I'm seeing it for us. Like, I need this team to build some confidence back into me. But I think Henry will probably agree. For the rest of the season, most of us Spurs fans just taking it. It's just like, it is what it is. However it's going to play out is how it's going to play out. We've just accepted where we are. We're a bottom half of the table league team.
And that's fair league.
No, it is, man. Europa League, like, there isn't much hope. and
I mean,
it's not looking good, isn't it? It's just not looking.
I mean,
good,
if history, if you go on what history says, it tends to show that we do pretty well against you guys at the Bridge. And if there's one game where we kind of just find that form, or we see a good Chelsea, it always seems to be against Spurs. And be quite honest with you, I've said these next 4 games for us as a football club are very big. You know, we've got you guys, then Brentford, and then Ipswich, and someone else. I can't think at the top of my head, but I think it's Fulham. You know, 4 games that I want us to go out and win. You know, and I think this is a game where I wouldn't be. Listen, I'm never happy with a loss anyway, and I don't expect this to lose. But I'd also be quite disappointed even if we drew with you guys, to be quite honest with you, because I want us to go and kick on. I want us to go and solidify ourselves in that Champions League position, you know. But what a game for us to, after having this break, to come back to and just find that form again, you know, and just get that W. That's the way I see it.
Tactically, how do you think we go and beat these lot, Jim? Like, who would you start in order to beat Spurs, man?
Our best team. Our best team, you know. That's just because we're in such, you know, we have been in such bad form. I just do think we need a striker. So if Jackson is able to give us 50 odd minutes, 60 minutes in a game, start him. You know, we need someone to play off. I'm just hoping this Jackson that comes back from injury has a bit of a spring in his step again, because the one that was on his way out before he got injured just lost confidence, man. He was just missing them chances that he was doing in previous years for us, you know. We need someone to we need someone on that. And the same as Palmer, like Emery said, like Palmer has not been good for Chelsea really these last couple of games. He's been very not, you know, his decision making has been poor. You know, he's another one that we need to step up. Ideally, we need them two to start. In my opinion, them two need to be playing, and we need them two to be on their games and finding their forms again going into this next part of the season. And then the rest of it, obviously, having Fofana back's a big thing. I know, you know, defensively, I don't like our defense anyway, but having Fofana back, it just makes me feel a little bit better about it. You're not going to get that bozo out of the goal, so Tottenham have always got a chance that he might throw the ball in the back of his net or saying, I don't know, he's got a habit of doing that anyway, but. Yeah, the rest of it, the midfield's fine. I have no problem with, even if Lavia don't play, Enzo and Caicedo's fine for me.
He has to fucking start, bro.
It's not a problem, you know. So
no, he has to start. I'm sorry, Jim, bro. This guy has to start, man.
Why does he have to start?
Bench, bro, he was on the bench against Arsenal. He's been training before the break. He's been training over the break. Like, bro, if we can't start Lavia after all this time he's been back, just sell him in the summer, right?
We can go Caicedo then.
But isn't he going to unlock your midfield? What do you mean sell him?
Yeah, you can't do that though.
I'm getting annoyed at this thing here where we can't even play my man. You know, it looks good on paper, but if we can't fucking start him against Tottenham, what's the point?
No, just bring him on for 30 minutes.
The perfect fixture. Like,
it's the perfect.
For you guys to get form back, because I don't know any Tottenham fan that's going into this game with optimism. It's kind of like, let's just get it out of the way, move on.
But let's be honest though, Henry. I think the best Tottenham we've seen this season is when there's no pressure on them, when we're expected to lose, Tottenham turn up. And that's sort of been the case for the Man City games, the Man United games. A lot of them just like, Spurs are not going to do good here. Even the good time we beat Liverpool, and then all of a sudden we put out a decent performance. So it would, you know, be the circumstance for Spurs turn up. But like you said, Jem, the Bridge, we never have much luck. So I really wouldn't, you know, I wouldn't too much.
We're in Trippier.
I don't know why Dom thinks Lavia needs to start, because for me, he comes on for when it hits 60 and we need to maybe tighten up the midfield. Then I'd throw him on. I wouldn't start him. Not in this game.
So what would you start? Would you start Reset right back and then Caicedo?
Yeah, you've got to have Reset. Yeah, because I want us to go out and attack them. If we start playing Lavia, that means that we have to lose a winger. If you know, and then we have to get Enzo and Palmer in the middle together, and then it just I don't know if I want that. And that means also Caicedo. If not, that means Caicedo's got to play right back. And why are you going to do that when you've got Reece James and Gusto there anyway? So that means either you're dropping Enzo or you're playing Lavia, one or two.
The only thing that worries me though, I feel like this game is going to be quite open, right? And it's going to be quite frantic. And when you've got Lavia on the pitch, bro, and Fofana, you know, defensively you're a lot better. You know what I mean? You've got a player there in the midfield that can sweep up and help Caicedo. Caicedo can be more box to box. We can counter press the fuck out of these guys, right? We know Spurs like to play out from the back and on the counter as well, bro. These men have literally 2 defenders at the back. Yeah. When I was watching that shape in person, I honestly couldn't believe it, Jem. I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro, like I can only see Archie Gray and fucking what's my man? Vuj. What's Vuj called? What's his name again? Man like Vuj, bro. Dragusin. I saw Dragusin and Archie Gray back together. You know what I mean? So, boy, I want a little bit of, solidity. But obviously, if you start Lavia, it means that you lose a little bit of creativity. Because start of the season, he was starting. Enzo was on the bench. We were struggling to create. We were struggling to score. You know what I mean?
Enzo,
I don't think you should start Lavia for this game.
I don't think so.
I agree with you. I think bring him on. Like, there's no excuse for either team not to go for it because both teams haven't played in like 16, 17 days. We weren't in the FA Cup. You've got players back. We've got players back. Both teams should be fit and firing, ready to go. So I imagine it will be both teams will get chances. But I think just for you to have the killer blow in the final third progressing, I think maybe bring Lavia on 50th, 60th minute. Because by then we don't particularly have had the best of first halves in recent weeks. We conceded 2 against Bournemouth. We weren't great fantastic against Fulham. Man City, we were better in the second, but I think for us, I don't know what you think, George, but I'd play Porro and Spence again at fullback. I don't want to see a doggy in this game. He was absolutely cooked in that Bournemouth game. Out of position. He was out of position against City as well. I don't want to make it. I think he might be carrying an injury because what we saw before and what we're seeing now is night and day in you, doggy. And I think Spence, I think he'll deal with whoever goes up against him. I think he's so good defensively. And I think Porro, from his creativity, I think that's a better fullback pairing than having you doggy in there.
Yeah, with Jed Spence, you want to match up. I just want to match Jed Spence up with whichever side Neto is expected to start on. Because if Neto's off the left-hand side, I'd play him right back. But if he's off the right-hand side, I'd play him left back. Because Neto, with the pace and power that he runs, how quick he can get in behind. You want someone like Spence next to him. Someone who's just going to be a bit more rough and tough, kick at the ankles. He does it defensively in the 1v1 battles. He's not going to beat him. Whereas on the other side, Pedro Porro, if he's up against Neto, I'm going to be worried, man. He's going to be burning him down that left-hand side, putting the crosses into the box. And with Jackson being back, that's what I'm worried. I don't really rate Jackson that highly, but he does have box presence. He does have good movement in the box sometimes. And if you've got Neto constantly, providing an option out there, and also Gusto on the other side doing the cutbacks, it's going to cause a problem for our backline. We already know our backline's not got the greatest of chemistry. Many of them haven't played together too often. And even if we see Romero and Van de Ven, I don't expect either of them to be back to their best at the moment. They haven't played together for God knows how long. So it'll be a bit messy. And then also, even with them, Romero, he switches off far too often, man. Like, I would have rather played Danso, to be honest, than Romero at this point, just because Romero switches off. But he's the more fitter one of the two. So hopefully he can put in a good performance. But defensively,
I hear it. Bro, there's big up Mo for this as well. So you just said we were struggling to score, but you want the same, bro. There's various ways of starting Lavia, Enzo, and Caicedo together, bro. You can start a 4-3-3 where you've got Lavia, Caicedo, and Enzo in the midfield. You play Palmer off the right, like what we saw against Villa, right? You could start Caicedo at right back and invert him into the midfield and do that. I don't think we'll do that because Spurs, they like to use their wingers a lot. That will leave a lot of space in behind, right? So there's a couple things that we can do in it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know if Lavia will start the game because Enzo and Caicedo, you can't drop them right now. And Palmer, let's be real, still our best player. He's not in the best form, but he's still our best player. But George, how do you think that you can actually beat us, bro? Like, what do you need to do to beat Chelsea right now? And right now, yeah, I think you've got a fully fit squad as well, innit? Like, I know there's a few rumors about Van de Ven, but
I'll be honest, we're waiting for a few players to come back. I'm waiting for Ange's press conference, which I suppose should be today or tomorrow, when he actually comes out and says whether I'm pretty sure Solanke is fit. Odebert should be fit for the questions in the chat. My questions are surrounding Kulusevski, Danso, Van de Ven, and those players that were on the fringe. I know Richarlison's not expected back. That's been confirmed probably over the next week or two, but you don't really look at Richarlison to make a instant impact or be the player to be a difference maker. So I think with regards to injuries, we should have our first team back. Just depends, innit, if Kulusevski's available or not. If Kulusevski's not there, then that's our biggest miss. But how Spurs can win is a difficult one. I'll be honest, just because we need a lot of our best players to have good games. They all need to have, but it's just not happened like that for a long time. When I'm looking at James Maddison, I'd be relying on him to do his job in the midfield, which is picking those passes, finding the wingers in behind. But also then, again, we need the wingers to have good games. I need Odebert to start. I'd like to see Tell off the left, but it's likely going to be Sonny. And if Sonny is off the left, okay, what is Sonny going to offer? Is it going to be the Sonny I saw against was it Manchester City where he had a decent half or had a decent game, or is it going to be the Sonny we see on the more usual occasions where he does absolutely nothing?
He was actually decent in the first half against us, bro. When we played you lot away, he was a little bit threatening on that side, man. I can't lie.
Yeah, he gives problems, innit? But he just does that thing where he'll like drop the shoulder, beat his man, and then once he gets into the open space, it's like, what are you gonna do now? He comes straight back, and that's the thing with Sonny. He's missing that killer instinct in that final third to just make the decision to do anything. So I'd like to see Tell off the left, Odobert off the right. Let's have dynamic wingers. Let's have players that Maddison's going to find him behind. Maddis can play the ball to their feet. They can run at their man. I want our touchline wingers to do the jobs. And I mean, Solanke is going to be key again. One of the biggest things for Spurs this season, I don't think we've done enough, is finding Solanke down the middle, finding him and giving him the actual opportunities to shoot and score himself. So yeah, that's going to be the key things for me. But again, I have to be honest, like trying to get Spurs to, or predict Spurs to do a really good game and win this one is going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Now, I hear it, man. So let's go through the lineup that you think you're going to put out then, H. And George, you guys can both do it together. My man's back in it. I've even forgot my man's name, bruv.
Vicario.
Vicario's back in goal. Okay. All right, cool.
I imagine Neto will either start... Whatever side he starts on is the side I agree with George, put Spence on. So let's just say, hypothetically, he starts on the right. On the left, or if he starts on the left but on the right. So let's just say he starts there.
That's right.
All right, so Spence,
and then
because I reckon Midweek will start. So we'll go through our lineup in a sec, but I reckon he'll start. Centre back pairing.
I think it will be Romero and Davis.
Yeah. Oh, I think
looking at that Frankfurt game, if we were to play Van der Ven, I think it'd be more beneficial.
Yes.
To leave, I would happily rest him for that Frankfurt game. I'd rather him be. Well, this advert's taking a piss, isn't it?
Taking the fucking piss, bro. Let me take this shit off, man.
Porro right back, obviously.
Hold on a second, bro. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there, man.
He just does it all the time. I was doing it last week.
So annoying. It's honestly so annoying, bruv. And then right back, what you lot saying? Porro.
Yeah.
Porro. Pedro Porro, calm. That pivot is Balloon Boy about, yeah?
Nah.
I don't know what you guys think. I think Bergvall has to be in there.
Yeah,
I think Bentancur's form right now is so bad. Pretty good Bergvall and Sarr.
No. It's definitely going to be Bentancur. Bentancur's form has been so overratedly bad. Like it's not been nowhere near as bad as people are making out. I think his
Bentancur. He's been quite disappointing based on his experience as well. I thought we would have slipped because I've seen good games of Bentancur for you guys as well, and he's just he's been a little bit.
He's been really good games. He's been stop and start this season. That's the hardest thing. He's been in and out of the team with injury, then concussion, and then not red card. He had the ban because of the stupid things he was saying. So he's been in and out of the team, and I don't think that's helped. But I actually like Bentancur. I like what he brings to the team, especially when he's playing in the deeper role next to someone who knows how to play the pivot. So I'd go with Bergvall and Bentancur, to be honest. I don't see him going Bergvall Sarr. Maybe in the game against Frankfurt or Southampton he could, but I don't think it would be in this bigger game. You need the experience in the midfield.
Jeb, looking at that pivot, how are you feeling about that, bro? Look at H.
I don't get what's so funny because Bergvall's better than a lot of the midfielders you have that are just got big names. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, now you want to lob him off, you? And I was telling you about Swedish fish in the summer.
Bro, you keep saying this. I've got videos of me telling you about him.
Yeah, you love to talk shit about White Scout, but I told you about this, brother. I watched him on White Scout. I said he's good. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, let's see, innit? Let's see. He's playing some rubbish league. But anyway, Jim, what do you think of that?
I was right.
What do I think of that midfield? I mean, yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? I don't really care when it comes to Spurs and their midfield. I'm more worried about what they're going to say about at the front because I do think they've got a couple of good attacking players, especially now with Tell around as well. But let's see.
Let's get into it. Who you got on your 10? Kulu?
Personally, I'd go Maddison, Tell, Solanke, Odobert. I don't want to see Brennan Johnson anywhere,
Or
and
Son.
I'd leave Son on the bench.
Yeah, I don't mind seeing them both come off the bench, but I'll be honest, I would go.
Is Solanke fit? Is he available? Yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't watch any of the England games, so I don't know what happened to him in the England squad. I
think he's fit. Yeah, and obviously
he didn't get picked.
He's only had something like
He did get
8
picked.
or
Oh, he
9
didn't play a game.
Did he get
clear
picked?
cut chances. We end up giving this guy like he's feeding off scraps.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're giving him half, and I think with a wing pairing of Odebear and Tell, like Johnson can't beat his man. Son gets there, turns, passes it back. So at least with that,
What side are you playing Odebear though? Because he's normally on the right, on the left. I watched him on the left for Burnley. Would you play him on the left?
He's usually on the left, but he's been playing on the right recently. I even watched him in the France under 17s, under 21s. He played on the right as well.
He was causing problems as well.
Yeah.
What have you lot thought about Tell so far, man? Because this is someone that I wanted Chelsea to sign as a replacement for Mudryk. But you lot played him up top. I was telling my boy, he's a Chelsea fan as well. Like, Tell's a good striker. I said, bro, for me, when I watch him, it's like watching fucking Rashford up there. He can't really play with his back to goal. Like, I prefer him more on the left. What have you thought about him, Jules?
Yeah, it's that exactly. Whenever I saw him for Bayern, and when I done my research, I was like, nah, this is definitely a winger, sort of like in Walcott back in the day was like, I want to be a striker, I want to be in the middle. Like, you're definitely not. You use your pace and you run in those flanks and play the channels, and that's what he needs to do. I think Tell's better off the left. Most of the goals and stuff you see is he cuts in off the left, jinks a guy, and then takes a shot and it sort of curls it into the further corner, similar to what Saka does as well. So I would look at him always playing off the left. And for Spurs so far, hasn't been a good time for him. But I blame the manager more than I blame him. I think he's being used as Solanke. So like when he's played in the 10, he's trying to play him like Solanke's plays, dropping in deep, going in between the two defenders. That's just not what he does. Like, you're asking for him to do something that he's not capable of. So I blame Ange more than I blame Tell for him not having a good time at Spurs. But I'll be honest, I was never big, like, all on, like, bring Tell to Spurs, he's going to change our season. I always said, if he comes in, he might have 3 or 4 goals, but that's about it. Like, he's not going to blow us away and be what we need.
No, I hear it, bro. Listen, for me, this guy's a joke, man, anyway, because, bro, when I was looking at it at the time, obviously, his biggest thing was, he wants game time. But I was looking at it thinking, bro, like, if you're scared to compete against Sancho, you're not serious. Because Sancho, he don't need to play every game. Sancho is a squad player at best. If you're competing against, I don't know, Madueke that's firing, or Neto that's firing, fair enough. We had so much game time he could have had, bro. He would have probably even played ahead of Tyreek George because he's got more experience. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a shame, innit? So what you lot say? You don't want to sign him then, yeah, H? Don't want to sign Tell? You want to send him back?
Not under this manager. I can't actually explain to you how questionable we are running as a club right now under Ange. Like, Levy come out and with our, PSR, we were at a loss, and then basically essentially alluded to that we're not going to go and actually spend big in the summer. But then I'm looking at, like, there's so many managers that have been linked, from Xavi, Silva, Areola, flipping the Brentford. I can't remember the Brentford manager is called now. Thomas Frank. There's like 5 or 6. Any of those managers, I think, could get more out of these players. Like, if look at Bournemouth, right? Look at their recruitment that they've done in the last 3 or 4 years with Dean Huijsen, with Kluivert, Semenyo, Kirkes.
Very good.
Like, no disrespect to Bournemouth, but we earn something like 10 times the revenue they do. Our stadium is 5 times bigger. How are we sitting here with Bournemouth making signings like that, and we got? I don't care what anyone says. Tell was a panic. It was last day of the window.
It was.
Like, if Tell was going to be the guy, early January would have gone out and done it, like we did with the goalkeeper we brought in. Like, I look at this manager and just think, like, he comes out all this second. You know what the narrative's going to be? If we don't win the Europa League, it's going to be, but I've never dealt with an injury crisis like this in my career. Like, that's what they're going to spin it that way. Like, I look at this team and just think, there's no way with the squad we've got, we should be sitting where we are in the league. No. Like, come on now. If we lose to you boys and teams around us win, we're only above Wolves by a handful of points. And like I said, we still got to play Forest, we still got to play Villa, still got to play Liverpool. Like, still got to play Brighton.
Fuck, man. Oh, shit. You know,
We
yeah,
shouldn't
bro.
be where we are. We should,
100%.
we shouldn't be where we are in the league.
100%. I look at this team, and for me, that's a team that should be pushing for at least top 6. You know, the fact that you're so far away from it, bro. Again,
between like 6th and 9th, with how competitive the Premier League is right now, is roughly where we should be. And bearing in mind, teams around us haven't played as many Euro. Like for instance, we've played 12 more fixtures
like
more because of the
50
Europa
games
League,
or
etc.
Bro, put it this way: you've got players that I'll take. I would take Spencer's cover for Cucurella, bro, left back. Like I'll play him there. I would take Tell.
Thinking our players would ever go to you for cover, bro? You've lost your damn mind,
bro. What, he's not starting ahead of Cuckoo, bro. Do you know who Cuckoo is?
Do you know who Spence is?
I know who Spence is, bro. He's not Cuckoo though, is he?
Cuckoo ain't getting no call up to the Rio presents. You know what I mean?
Why is he even wearing those shades?
Real bad man. Yeah.
I thought he was Morpheus. Why is he wearing some dark shades?
That interview we did was alarming when Rio said to him, "Who's the leaders?" And he's sitting there going like, "I don't know. I don't know, Jeff." Like our quote unquote leadership group has just been indirectly called out right there.
Exactly, bro.
You Romero, Madison, except Son. So
I wouldn't say any of the players.
Son ain't no leader, bruv. Son ain't no leader. He used to lead by example. But in terms of
the
leading,
Kane thing, like Kane ain't going to be screaming and shouting you on a pitch, but he's what you look up to in terms of like never in bad, never has any bad PR, never in trouble. Like leads by example.
He actually, I'm telling you, bro, he actually thought he was Morpheus. Yeah, he thought he was Morpheus. Let me even get the picture up right now of this brother. Yeah, Spence interview. Let me get a screenshot of it. If people haven't seen it, yeah. This brother actually thought he was Morpheus, bro. Rio Ferdinand. Let me even bring it up right now, bro, so you man can see what I'm talking about.
Do you know what's mad as well? It wouldn't surprise me if Liverpool look at Spence with Kirkes going on the left-hand side and how strong defensively he is. It wouldn't surprise me if they look at him.
Spence ain't leaving Spurs.
Look at that, bro. That's Morpheus right there, bro. Big up Deji. I think that's Deji that came up as well.
As if Deji come up. That is so funny.
No, but listen, what do you think for Ange then? What, George? Do you think that he's definitely going to get sacked regardless of what happens? Like if you win the Europa League, do you think they'll keep him for a little bit longer, or do you think that it's time to go? Because more time, I'm seeing man doing up, fighting, trying to fight the fans every time. You know, have a little bit of respect, mate. Have a little bit of respect, mate. You know what I mean? Doing all of that, yeah. Like, what do you think's gonna happen to my man?
You know what it is, yeah. I think his head's absolutely gone. He's lost his mind. You can see in the interviews as the weeks go on, he's getting more and more bitter. Doesn't look like he's comfortable. And as you said there, trying to fight fans and stuff, argue with fans when they're saying it needs to be good enough. You come out there and you apologize. That's what you should have done. Apologize, and even should have come out in an interview straight away and said, you know what, I overreacted in the moment. We should be doing better. You know, have some accountability, because the guy seems to deflect and sort of point out, oh, that's the issue, when the real issue is just you're not finding the solution. And you, as a coach, as a football manager, you need to find solutions with the players you got in front of you. He hasn't done it. Unfortunately, if we do win Europa League, I think we're going to be in a very similar position where Man United was at the end of last year, where you have a conundrum with a manager that's won a trophy, had a very poor season, but he's won a trophy. So he's bought himself time. That ultimately is going to be the difference maker between whether he gets another 6 months or whether Spurs give up with him straight away. I think that even if he wins Europa League, we should sack him and be like, yeah, do you know what? Look, Europa League win, you can end on a high. You can do the thing which, you know, I always win in my second season. Go out there, go make all the clips you want about that. But we're going to move on to newer and better pastures because, hey, we know that he is not the guy here for the future. We know that consistently we can't rely upon him. And like Henry said, I said it at the start of the season, and Don, you remember, I was called crazy for saying Spurs are going to have one of the best attacks in the league. I said it because I know my manager plays, the football we play, and the amount of goals and chances we create. But defensively, we're quite literally one of the worst. We concede the most chances. We concede the most errors leading to goal. We have like the least amount of improvement from Jed Spence, the only defender that's actually improved over the last 18 months that I've seen. Every other defender's got worse. Pedro Porro's defensively got worse. Romero's defensively got worse. Van de Ven, I can say, look, he's been injured, so he can just be sat to the side. But all the other players don't look defensively better. Even Archie Gray, I know he's coming to the side and got a lot of praise, but defensively, he's been a mess. That's because he's not being coached correctly. It's like some of the decisions he's making. You're like, but why are you stepping into those positions? What? The coach, because it's all the defenders making these same mistakes. So, yeah, man, I just look at Ange and say he's out of his depth. And I'm ready.
Who do you bring in?
Xavi Hernandez.
I said this about 2 months ago, and everyone on the terrace was laughing at me.
I've been laughed at. Oh, you think I care? Bring me.
What do you like about him? What do you think he can bring to your team? Yeah, and your squad that you've got.
For one, we need a coach. I want a coach's coach. We've seen at Barcelona, yes, the level of talent coming through the academy is of a different, it's just different source. But at the same time, I've seen him coach 16 and 17-year-olds into the first team to then play Champions League, Europa League football, and they don't look out of place. I've seen him take players like Rafinha, who was on the edge of, just Leeds and being told that he's not that good, to then becoming the star that he is right now. I know Hansi Flick took him on to another level this season, but Rafinha was the guy that was doing cold for them even under Xavi. So, and even with Lamine Yamal, I look at him and think this is a coach, someone that can make players better. Also, he's adaptable. And when you look at our system, if you want to keep it to an attacking system, because there's other coaches I'd look at and be like, 3-5-2, I like that. But if you want to keep with the same system, he plays a 4-3-3 as well.
That is Xabi Alonso.
Well, that would be a great option. I just think Xabi Alonso is just out of the realm because his club's doing so well. Whereas
that won't work for you, man, bro. Three at the back and that you have to start.
Three at the back would work for us. It would definitely work for us. I just think that Xavi Hernandez.
You did Van der Vaart fit
for the team we have, and plus he's available. That's what it is more than anything. He can be good and quiet.
He says.
I think the one we're going to go for is Marco Silva.
Marco Silva.
We'll go for
the Fulham manager.
Yeah. He's open.
Who do you want?
Sorry?
Who do you want?
I want Iriola from Bournemouth. I love Xavi, and I've been banging that drum, but I just don't think. I think Iriola and Marco Silva are the two most realistic. I think Xavi would be we'd come in and we'd play. We'd be a lot more. There'd be a lot more stability across the ranks. But I just think looking at what Bournemouth have done with a very, very small budget and how good their recruitment's been. I mean, even if he can I'd be looking at, Cliver, I'd be looking at other players and be like, look, do you want to come over as well? You can take Brennan Johnson back to Bournemouth and everyone's happy. But I think looking at for Bournemouth to be battling for a European position with how much that club generates, I think it's even defenders like Zabarini. Zabarini's been very, very good for Bournemouth this season. Kepa, your old goalkeeper's gone in and had, other than the hiccup he did against us.
You can have him. You can have him.
You can have him. Fuck that guy, bro. Fuck him every single day.
You should take him over Sanchez, mate.
Nah, mate. Nah. I need better than
yeah. I wouldn't take any of them. Just get rid of the two that need to go this summer anyway. So.
I think he's a good manager.
No, you're not. You're bro. Listen, I think he's a good manager. I like what he's doing. I like how they play football. He reminds me of Poch, but more of a tactically switched on Poch. Because a lot of what he does is the pressing, bro. The intensity, the way Bournemouth press you, bro, man to man, they don't let you breathe. You know what I'm saying? But with you, say that again, Jim.
That's like Deserby ball.
He's not. They're not afraid of who they play against. They don't. I know Ange is very gung ho, but I don't know if you saw the Newcastle game Bournemouth played in. And then you saw the way they played against Man City at home. You boys only beat them from a penalty. They are the way they play. They're patient with it. We are very much.
Are you also not concerned?
Who did we beat by a penalty?
You beat Bournemouth 1-0, didn't you? Over a penalty away.
No, in Cuckoo, bro. In Cuckoo scored.
They missed
the penalty. They missed the penalty.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. What were you saying, George?
No, I was just going to say, are you not because for me, I like Iriola. I like what he's doing over at Bournemouth, but I do think it's a bit of flavour of the month type of thing because when you actually look deeper into it, look how many injuries he's had. You talk about his football and how unsustainable Ange Postecoglou's football is. His transition, high press style of football has already got him 12 injuries playing 1 game a week. It's only going to get worse playing 3 games a week. I know we don't have 3 games a week next year, but still you have to plan for the long term. If he starts playing Europe, weekend, Europe, we're going to have the same problem because his football is high press, high energy. You need players that are P&P specialists.
Exactly.
You don't necessarily have them.
And that's what I'm saying is Poch Part 2. And that's exactly what I'm saying is Poch Part 2, bro. Because I remember when there was rumors, hold on, before you come in, Jim, when there was rumors about Poch being sacked, I showed these lot in the group chat, said Iriola's doing well. Bournemouth, he picked up a lot of points for them last year. Because remember initially they started off poor, bro. Bournemouth was shit at the start of the season, right? Everyone was wiping them. All of a sudden, they start to pick up points. When I done my research on that on the guy, I saw the pressing, the intensity. I said, nah, not for me. I don't want Poch again. So I hear what George is saying. I can't lie. I hear what George is saying.
I always feel with Spurs fans.
I've got sorry, go on, Jim.
No, I was just going to say, with Spurs fans, obviously, you've had a lot of managers go in and out, obviously, over the course of years. Not too similar to what we've been doing, to be fair, in past. But, like, if I was generally a Spurs fan, I'd look at what we have at the moment and where we're at in terms of player quality. And then I would want to look at what type of manager we need based on what we have and then how we can improve. Because I think some of the issues is some people, like, not talk about used to, but some Spurs fans, some that I know will go, yeah, I want an experienced manager that's going to actually win us something. But then you look at what you've currently got on display in terms of quality in your team. And I do think there's areas where you're okay, but there's a lot of areas where I feel you just need to revamp. And it's like, you're not going to get that doesn't matter who you bring in. You're not going to get to that level unless you get someone that's going to come in. I know Levy's hard to take control of because he's just an arse anyway in himself. But you know what I mean? Like, it's going to work with the board and work your way up. Do you know what I mean? In terms of like where you are as a football club on the pitch to where you want to be, which is obviously trying to be back in the top four and at least winning trophies and competing. You know, that's the thing with Spurs fans for me.
100%, man. Listen, we've got 105 people in the house. Make sure you lot smash up the lights, man. We ain't even got to fucking 50 likes, I don't think. You know what I mean? Make sure that you lot keep smashing up the lights there. But listen, Jem, let's go through our starting 11, then we'll round up. That's actually flown by. We've got fucking 41 minutes in, you know. That's crazy, man. But let's go through our lineup, Jem. So we know it's going to be that fucking Malteser in goal. You know, straight away.
I don't talk about him anymore. I don't even say his name, whoever that person is.
Let's not mention his name. It's going to be that fucking Malteser in goal, right? We'll put him over there. Right back. Reece
James. Yeah.
All right, cool. Reece.
You don't think he's over his like injury wobbles now? Do you think he's?
Well, he needs to.
Hey.
We're going to know if he don't play. You know, he doesn't. He seems to be having little breaks with us here and there in certain games, and he comes back in. And I think this game is a game he needs to start because if you're playing someone like Tell, I expect someone like Reece James to kind of pocket him. To be quite honest with you, but that's just.
I'd expect that too. If he doesn't get pocket, it'd be a very big problem. But he's definitely been working on those free and those dead balls, man. That was the one he put in for England was class.
Yeah. Even against
free kick. That's our best back four there. But even though I don't like Colwill, but that's the best we can put on paper.
Cole was good when Fofana was about, man. You have to be fair. I know he's been poor like the past few weeks and that, but when him and Fofana were playing together, bro, defensively we weren't conceding as many goals. Like it weren't the best, obviously, but you could see that we had a bit more stability. You know what I mean? But let's talk about this area of the pitch then, Jem. We said Enzo Caicedo pivot then, yeah?
Yes, yeah. I'll start Enzo on the left and then Caicedo on the right,
So Enzo on this side?
No, Enzo on the left.
The left side, sorry, okay.
Yeah.
Enzo, Fernandez, all right, cool. What do you thought about Enzo as well, Henry, man? Because you were saying that you don't get into any top 10 teams. I forgot about that, yeah?
Yeah, I see you tagged because he had a couple of good games for Argentina. And then the whole everyone's back on the bandwagon. I still think the jury's out. I want to see, I need to see a lot more consistency. Like I know players can't determine their price tag, and I think for someone to say, yeah, he's not a £100 million player is harsh on him because of course it's not his fault. But at the same time, that's still a reference in the argument. He, in my opinion, he isn't 100 and what did you pay?
105 million.
105
million.
It's crazy, crazy, absolutely crazy money. But look. He did play well on the international break. I did actually watch the Argentina-Brazil game. I had to pay flipping £10 for Premier Sport to watch it. But it was a good game. I want to see this more, though, from him. Like, finish the season strong, go and win that Conference League, then start next season strong. Because he's the sort of player that will play... He'll do well against us. And then there's a little bit of a drop-off. Then he'll have another good game. And then it's 2 drop-off games.
He's not done that for a while, though.
Sorry?
He's not done that for a while.
He hasn't. More of the way he's playing. And then I think a lot of the critics will go into hiding.
Yeah, look, Enzo Fernandez is a guy that, I don't know. The one that you're seeing at the moment is the one that I saw at Benfica before he came to Chelsea. So this isn't just, oh my God, Enzo Fernandez is just playing just all right for now because of what we saw under Poch. This is the Enzo Fernandez that we actually wanted to sign, and the stats show, man, he creates so much. I said to Don, he could easily have 20 GNA for us if we had a striker up front, and it's not even a joke. It's not even a joke. The guy's creating 5+ chances a game in three games in a row in the Premier League for us. Like, that's mad. And we're just not able to put them away. Imagine Cesc Fabregas not having Diego Costa up front, putting the balls in the back of net. He's really good on his creative. If you're not putting it back in, you're in trouble, aren't you? It's the same thing with him. He's not a defender. He's not your Lavia Caicedo type of player. But what he is someone that's going to do things. He has the eye that I don't think a lot of midfielders have, to be quite honest, and how he plays, and trying to open up and create. And him and Palmer are big creators in our team. Our biggest creators on our team by a mile. One thing you have got
as well is he is only 24 and he's just turned 24 as well. So like you're 4 or 5 years from his pomp, like from him in the peak of his powers.
Oh, he's such a Champions League footballer.
He's winning duels as well, isn't he? He's doing everything at the moment. Even the things that he was getting told, people were saying he couldn't do. He was winning duels in games where he was beating even Caicedo. And I'm like, how's he beating Caicedo in duels? Like, this guy seems to be always involved, But yeah.
Can you lot talk about Palmer, like from a Chelsea perspective? Like, I know he still had a very, very good season. Like 20 GA is not a bad season, but I think I'm a massive Palmer fan, and Don will tell you I've backed him times in arguments. But what we've seen in the last 8-9 games, like that game against Southampton, he should have had a hat trick. Like he missed 2 big chances. Like, do you think his confidence? Is he carrying a knock? Is he just not firing? Like, what is it?
It's not even just the chances that he's just missing for me. I don't know if Don agrees with me, but it's even like when we're finding him, it's like final ball. He's just taking too many touches when he should be releasing the ball for others who are running in front of him. He's not even doing that anymore. And that has got to be a confidence thing for me. Listen, every player goes out of form and they have this dip in form. It's going to happen. This guy set the bar so high in his first season. I think it shocked everyone. It shocked everyone even when he came to Chelsea in the first place. No one understood it. It was like, well, why did Chelsea sign him? What's he going to do? He set this high standard for himself, and he's come into this season where he's still performed pretty well. Like you said, 20 GNA is not bad, but it's not bad by any means. But because he's set the bar so high and he's had this dip of form, people are just waiting for that to turn. And it's not turned for a little while. It's been at least, 8-9 games easily that I can say Cole Palmer's not actually played to that level. So I think it's a coming up. You should be beating us. He's definitely been affected by confidence, I feel. I also feel that the attack's been a bit of an issue for us because we lack no Jackson, no Madueke, certain individuals around who he's been playing with when we've been doing quite well earlier in the season, been pulling out and then having to play with Neto as a false 9. All right, it's not the greatest, but these are the moments when, and this is why I criticize him and I look at him a little bit more in the light than others, is that in these moments when we've needed him because we are lacking in certain areas because they're not there and we have created or he has had that moment to make something happen, he hasn't done it. And that's where he needs to find that, he's still young. You could say he's still inexperienced to a degree, isn't he, in the Premier League? But he needs to understand that if he wants to be held up to that level, he needs to always be that guy in and around most of the times, And that's where I wait to see with him is the right words to probably say with Paul Palmer,
Do you think now that Jackson's back, obviously that should like hypothetically help him massively.
It will help him, bro. It will help him 100% for me. I think it will help him. I think those two, again, there's no 2 players that have more goal contributions for each other since last season than Jackson and Palmer. I said to you lot start of the season, Jules was calling me deluded and whatnot. He's like, it's harder than KDB. I said, bro, yes, it's harder than KDB on paper and what we've seen from them, but KDB can't stay fit. And right now, he's finished. Let's be real about it, bro. KDB in the Prem is finished. He's going to go Saudi or something, right? So right now in the Prem, they've got the best pairing. You know what I mean? And you've got guys like this, right? Zarman. Every single stream, this Zarman guy won't give it a rest, right? No, Palmer is below Saka. That's all we need to know is a one-season wonder. I've documented that, my bro. Yeah? He's running about lying as well. Jules will vouch for this on Midday Live as well because most of this season, I've been cooking Palmer because there's been many games where Palmer's actually been... There's been a few games where Palmer's been quite influential, like over that Christmas period, is creating a lot of chances for our team, and we weren't finishing them, right? But there's been a lot of games like against the top 6 teams, certain games where man's being bare greedy in front of goal, poor decision making. I've criticized him for that, bro. because I put him on a mad platform, right? Whereas with Saka this season, I've actually been bigging up his performances more than I've been cooking him this season, bro. I barely cooked Saka this season because he's been good. So I don't understand your obsession.
He hasn't played for 4 months. That's why. Because he hasn't played for 4 months.
No, bro, because he's been good.
That's the only reason you've not cooked Saka, bro. Let's have it right. Because I heard you say something wild the other day. You were like, oh, Enzo was, for the money, Enzo was better signing than Rice was. And I was just like, wait.
Where did I say that? Where did I say that?
How?
Where did I say that? I never said that, bro.
I can't remember what shirt it was on.
No. Now you're lying. Now you're lying, bro. Bring me that
receipt. You would have been if we had a striker up front.
Bring me that receipt. Bring me that receipt. Bring me that receipt in it. Bring me that receipt.
Rice. You know you said this, bro.
I never said that, bro. Bring me that receipt. And you as well.
Is Caicedo better than Rice?
Bring me the receipt, yeah? But yeah, answer that question.
Is Caicedo better than Rice?
No.
Yeah, to you, is Caicedo a better midfielder than Rice?
No.
You don't think he's a better midfielder than Rice?
I've maintained. I think Rice is better even before the Chelsea days.
What's better about him? What's better about him?
What is better about him? What's he got that's better than Caicedo?
You guys just like Caicedo because again, it's flavor of the month stuff. What Rice has been doing it for 5 years, like the shielding of that back line. I don't think there's too many players that do it better than Rice. He obviously not played the 6 for the majority of the season. Like he's been playing 8, 6. He gets moved around, and what people don't like about Rice is his inability to sort of play through the lines when he's passing it. He's not great at that. But when you look at the way he carries the ball, I don't think Caicedo can carry the ball the way that Rice does. I don't think there's many midfielders that do. The way he drives through the midfield, when
leadership as well. Like Rice is,
bro, how often do you see Rice driving through the midfield for Arsenal? How often
for Arsenal, it's been taken back simply because, again, it doesn't like over this season. It's not happened.
It's tackled at the end of it.
No, because Arteta, by design, Arteta asked for him not to do that. Let's be honest. Arteta asked for all his players to move the ball, pass it quick. Less touch.
I hear that. I hear you, but I do think Caicedo has more in his locker than Rice in terms of overall ability in that position. It's not even a question for me when I watch them both, because I think Declan Rice is very good at what he does in sitting. I think you can see that he gets around, he plays, he's very progressive with the ball, he spreads the ball very well. Off the ball, he's got an engine he can get about. I just think Caicedo has this, and listen, I think Caicedo off the ball, vantering around the pitch and winning balls and winning duels is probably one of the best in the league, if not the best in my opinion. But on the ball also, he's also shown the ability to be able to execute passes in behind, play balls over the top, help us go on attacks, even if Enzo's not in and around that area as well. So, I don't see much of I don't think it's a glaring difference between the two of them. I just think Caicedo has more in his locker and what he can do on and off the ball than what Declan Rice can do. And that might be a little bit of
this is what I mean. And when people are like, Rice is better defensively, I'm like, bro, you're trying to split hairs here, because Caicedo off the ball is elite, right? Same way that Rice off the ball is elite. But the major difference for me is how they are on the ball, bro, right? Caicedo is a box-to-box. He's an 8. And when you get this guy closer to the goal, he's going to be putting up more numbers in the team, bro, right? You guys remember that goal he scored against United? The volley that just came down and just slapped it in. Yeah, he created some good chances for our team as well, bro. Right? The amount of chances, the amount of times I see man get the ball from a 6th position where he shouldn't even be really, and just clip it in. He'll clip it. He'll just clip it to our wingers. He'll clip it to the striker. He'll just play a nice threaded ball. Like, his way of pass is fantastic. And I actually wish, when I'm watching Caicedo, I'm like, yo, if only Kante had his passing range, because Kante's passing range wasn't amazing. He used to get around the pitch. Yeah, it was dead. I'll be real. It wasn't great. And his finishing weren't great. If Kante had Caicedo's passing range, bro, he would have been even better than what we saw, right? But Caicedo, bro, this guy was playing for Brighton, bro. You don't play for Brighton.
That Caicedo has the Kante ability, and he's a Kante region. Is that what you're saying?
But what I'm saying is he could potentially.
I want specific. I don't want he could.
What I'm saying is offensively.
If you want the stats, I think offensively, his overall scores are pretty high across the board. Even when we're underperforming, one of our best players tends to be Caicedo. He's always doing 7.5%, 8% on sofa score in his own performances. We're doing his job in terms of his dual winnings, in terms of his accurate passings percentage per 90. He's very good. His overall game individually is usually pretty good for us. That's just the one thing I can say. He does have the odd game where he can be a little bit shady, but so does every player. But overall, I would say he's more consistent. He's more consistent at playing well for us than he is not playing well.
Bro, look at this. Only Ryan Christie and Caicedo have recovered the ball more than Bruno, bro. right? Man's sitting up there with Christian. If you watch Bournemouth, like what we were saying earlier, this Christie guy is a fucking engine, bro. He gets around the pitch. He's always trying to get the ball. Look at Lewis Cook. Lewis Cook's another one as well. He's fucking industrious.
So
as well.
next time when we talk about Man United, are we gonna gas up? Oh, look at Bruno, man. He leads the ball recoveries. Like, you said he's got like a couple more than Bruno. Like Bruno's the fucking the savior of ball recoveries. Bro, when you said like more than João Paulinho, who when he was in the league, leaded the league in all of these stats, and it would make sense. But
you know what I showed
more ball recoveries than a Cam or a number 10 makes plenty of sense.
Yeah, but Jules, you know why I showed you that stat, bro? Because I literally just searched it on Twitter, and that's the first thing that came up.
And the one below is the one he's won more fouls. I thought he was gonna say, what's that in March?
If you look here, right? Again, like I said, when he's clipping the ball into the final third, Moises Caicedo has completed more passes into the final third than any other player in the Prem, bro. Right?
That was tweeted on February 6th. There might not be a real.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, it was 2 months ago, so it may not last. Right
here we go, bro. Here we go. February 7th, two midfielders have made 100 plus tackles and interceptions combined. That was Caicedo and Idrissa Gueye. You know, defensively, bro, this guy's been class for us, bro. He's been fucking class for us, man. You know what I mean? And honestly, I can't wait for Lavia to be fit and Santos, Asugo, these guys to come into the team. You're going to see Caicedo elevate even more. You're going to see him elevate even more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But let's finish up with the rest of the team, though, Jem. I think obviously up front, I think Jackson will start. I don't think Neto will start. I'll be so honest.
Yeah.
He's back now. He's got a fresh haircut. He's got Mohican like Jeff Hardy, bro. Yeah.
Well, he got
Swans on Juan Romero.
I hope he does. He scored at the bridge last year, didn't he? That header. He scored that header, bro.
Yeah, to be fair, Romero deserves it half the time because he's an arse when he's playing against us. He does stupid things. I swear.
Yeah, remember last season, bro? Palmer nearly scored a free kick against these cunts. And it hit the... Let me never fucking get demonetized, bro. He hit the fucking bar and then Jackson got the header. on it, remember? Yeah? That's
Right, you can just edit that out, Don. Don't worry about it. Just believe it.
No, I'll leave it. It should be all right. Right wing, I reckon Madueke will start, you know. I
disagree.
You don't think he'll start?
No.
I think
Neto will play right. I think Neto will play right, and I think Sancho will play left.
Yeah. That's what
bro.
You can't say this. I'll tell you why you can't say this. Because his last game, if you remember the last game we played these lot, he was the one that got us back in the game. And he had a good performance against Porro. He played a good performance against Porro. It wasn't like he had a bad game. He had a good game against Porro as well. So I would play Porro against Sancho. Like
he did, man. He did. But honestly, when we're playing these teams with high lines and that, Sancho's been Neto. He's been poor.
No, Neto on the right.
He had a good first half. That's what he looked good in the first half. He scored that goal, and people all of a sudden like he had a good game. I don't think Sancho was that dangerous. That was literally the best move he's done all season.
In the first half, he was class. He was class.
He's had some good periods for us, but I can see in this game him playing quite well against Porro. He just likes what he did last time round as well. Listen, and this is the reason I've done that is because if Enzo's playing on the left and Cucurella is allowed to get forward and overlap him, I think this is when we see the best of Sancho, which is being able to link up with a striker, because there's now a striker, being able to attack the space and attack them inverted areas in between your right back and your defense as well. This is where he's at his best. He's not at his best when he receives the ball, and we go, right, run, beat your man and run with it. He hasn't got that burst of space. He's pace, sorry. He's just not that guy, Sancho, you know. But in this type of game where it's a narrow, we know the bridge is a narrow pitch anyway. It's going to be tight. It's going to be. These are the type of games where I can see Sancho performing quite well if providing that we get bodies around him and he can link the play and use his ability to get into them pockets. That's what I want him to do, you know. But
all right, cool, man. Listen, I hear it. So listen, that's a solid lineup anyway. At least we're not playing people out of position and whatnot. And that's something that I don't want to be seen on Thursday, bro. You better play every single person in their position. I don't want to see Reece in midfield now that Lavia and these guys are back. I don't want to see that shit, bro. Play him back at right back again, and let him just carry on building, bro. He looks like he's trimmed down a bit. I know H asked earlier if you think he's over his injury record, bro. Listen, with Reece, you just have to touch wood. You know, usually I say 5 games and then he's gone again, but he's actually been able to survive, and he played well for England.
Caicedo right back last fixture and have Lavia and Fernandez, and then Lavia went off at half time, didn't he?
Yeah, we did. We actually started Caicedo at right back. We did. We started Caicedo at right back.
We started off very dodgy until, I don't know, is it until you got the card? I think it was when you got the...
Romero went off.
Yeah.
Caicedo did start at right back. That's what I'm saying. There's different ways of starting all 3 of them, innit? But if you do that, you have to start Palmer on the right.
Solanke Like was on it. That finish of the first 10 minutes, and obviously
That's what you need to do, Emery. What I was going to say is before you finish off, so the way Spurs need to play against us is exactly how you started the game originally when we played you guys. Just don't give us time on the ball. You know what we're going to do? We're going to play it out from the back. We're going to try and play it in through the middle. We're going to try and find them spaces. Just press us high and try and win the balls. That's what I would be telling you guys. So you need your forward, your front three really, and your midfield need to be quick. So you're going to need some quick, direct wings that are able to get around them.
You know what the problem that you've got? The problem that you've got, H, if you try to press us, bro, right? When Chelsea are at the best, the way we beat the press with Lavia especially, we just see back goal, boop, boop, before you know it, we're through on goal, we're scoring. That's Chelsea at their best.
It worked for him well. We don't start games well, Don. I've not watched us start a game, my first 45 minutes well in a long time. We still have a problem of starting well in games. If they start well in the game and we don't start playing balls out and Sanchez gets the ball and decides to pass it to blimmin' Solanke, like these are the things that we used to see, in the first sort of half games. It's just, it can happen, but they've got to put the pressure on us. If they sit back and allow us to play our game, I think you're going to have problems, personally.
100%, man. Yeah. Listen, let's finish off with predictions. Let's predict first, Jem, because we're the home team. I'll start with you, bro. What do you think, man?
I haven't really been scoring lots of goals, but if he sets up like the way we've got it there, I reckon it'll be 3-1.
Yep, I don't see a cliche. Yeah. I was literally going to say 3-1 as well. How about you, H?
I suggested on the terrace. I think Chelsea win 1-0. I think it will be an open but cagey game. Like if we start strong, and start causing you problems, I think you'll just sit in, and then we naturally give 2 or 3 big chances. Like with Vicario's got to make a worldie save every game, and I just think Andrew will get to like 60th, 70th minute and just be thinking about that Europa League game. I expect us to play a very, very weak side against Southampton. I don't want to see Romero in there. I don't want to see Van der Ven in there. I don't want to see Jed Spence. Like a very mixed 11, because we should be able to beat Southampton for a weak side. But my head says 1-0 Chelsea. My heart says 1-1.
Fairs? How about you?
I lead with my heart, so I'm the same with Henry. I'll go with a 1-1. I've been leaning on the draw going into it when I'm thinking about it. I just think both sides don't have that much quality at this moment, and like I said, both are unknown quantity and a bit of bad form, so a draw works out for either teams because it just sort of relieves the pressure. And I think where we're at right now, we'd be happy with a draw. we ain't beat Chelsea at Stamford Bridge in a while, so we'd probably be happy with a draw.
So yeah, like 2 wins in 30 years or something, isn't it?
Something stupid. But let me just say here, I wouldn't be surprised if Chelsea beat us in it. I genuinely wouldn't be surprised. We're in a bad place right now, and a lot of teams are going to beat us towards the end of the season. So yeah, no.
I think it says a lot about you as well. If the way we're playing, where we are in the league in terms of our position, if we turn up and win, that says a lot about how mixed. What's happening here? How mixed Chelsea are right now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. I just feel that I just always worry with our goalkeeper. I'm not going to lie. I just don't trust him. Like he really can be the difference in games. But I do think, like I said, if Spurs play in the way that they did at the beginning when we first played them, and they can continue it throughout the game, then I think it will give us problems. I don't think it will be a walk in the park 3-1. I'm not saying we're just going to play you off the pitch if it is like that. But I'm always confident in us in beating you guys just because of recent history, so we just have to just see what happens.
You know what? I'm actually gonna say 2-1, Jim. I'll be real, man. For me to say 3, that means that we're firing in front of goal, bruv. It's just we'll see in it. I'm gonna say 2-1 Chelsea, bro. I just don't see us keeping a clean sheet, to be honest with you. Even when we
there's always goals, that's for sure. There's always goals with us, isn't it? Let's be serious. So
yeah, 100%, man. But listen, people, make sure that you smashed up the likes. Just before we finish up, make sure that you're subscribing to Henry Talks Football and George. Both of their YouTubes are in the description. What have you lot got coming up? First of all, VH, what have you got coming up, man?
I've got a video dropping at some point this afternoon about the whole Marco Silva stuff. Apparently, Romano said out on YouTube earlier about there's 3 clubs looking at him, and we're supposed to be one of them. Talking about like how we'd potentially fit with him, and obviously there's Premier League on tonight, so I'll probably do a couple of videos on that as well.
Yeah, for good football today, man. How about you, George?
I'm not sure on lives. I'm still due to schedule my lives in for the week, but videos, I've pretty much got videos dropping every morning. So just keep an eye out for videos and clips and stuff every morning, man. So keep an eye out for that.
Big up, man. Make sure you lot subscribing, man. Jules, how many subscribers are you on now? It's 2K yet?
Nah, like close to 1.5. I can't lie. The last month, I've barely done any videos, so the people know. I've been still doing lives. When I say barely, you guys know what I like. Barely is like 3 a week. You need to be doing it every single day. So
it's kind of slowed down. It's kind of
slowed down.
Slow down a little bit for everyone. Everyone I've spoken to, their subs have kind of.
Oh, bro, it's gone like just stagnate for like a month. It's been on like 10 or 15 subs. But again, I know I'm at fault for not making that much content. So
yeah,
international breaks hard as well. Like the international breaks, it's a killer.
Yeah, it's a killer.
It is, bruv. But yeah, people, listen. Make sure that you tune into Blue Diaries. Jem, am I going to see you there, bro?
What, later?
Yeah, bro. 6 o'clock.
Probably not.
All right, cool, bro. No worries. We've got a panel anyway. Alexis will be joining us. I will see Alexis fucking defending João Felix. This guy, bro, you could have been on later, chefing Felix up, bro. You know what I mean? You've got.
Oh, Alexis likes Felix, didn't he? I just remembered. Oh, no.
He loves him. I wish you were there to just used to go back and forth. But listen, people, Blue Diaries later. We'll be chopping it up for a bit, and then obviously the game's a little bit later as well. But Chels, you fucking must, blood. In a bit. Love.